You don't care for me. I don't care about that. You've got a new fool to shoot Is It Shit with. I like it like that. I have only one burning desire. Let me turn the air conditioning off.
Shit.
Now, dig this, baby. You don't care for me, and I don't care about that. You've got a new fool to shoot Is It Shit with. I like it like that. I've only one burning desire. Do you know what that is? Let's shoot an episode of Is It? Can't believe on the one where I did the shit, you fucked me over, dude.
I didn't plan it, but while I was doing it, I thought, I thought that'd be quite funny.
You knew from the minute I did the shit, you knew exactly what you were going to do, because that's what you do.
Can't help it.
On the Instagram now, every time I do, it says, pick your cover. I choose one where you're like.
I did wonder. Oh, that's the revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I get to do all the covers for these. So.
I know. Yeah.
Dangerous game, that.
I should have admitted that.
You shouldn't have. Anyway, give me a fun day of editing tomorrow. What's the worst way she stands?
A fun day of editing. There's no such thing, sure.
Oh, I enjoy it.
Do you?
Yeah.
What, editing the Is It Shits?
It's a little bit annoying sometimes, but it's quite fun.
Well, yeah. Yeah. What do you prefer more, the shooting them or the editing them? Shooting them.
Shooting them is more fun in the moment, but the editing, you see all the stupid stuff is quite amusing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, what about rehearsals? Do you like the rehearsals that we do?
If we did rehearsals. It's like, this is one of the rare occasions where we've had to restart the beginning because we left the aircon on.
Some dickhead left the aircon on.
Yeah. But no, we don't rehearse nothing.
No, we don't.
And
we don't rehearse nothing.
I don't think we could.
No.
It wouldn't work.
No. Well, we have tried things prior, in our creative careers where we have rehearsed stuff.
That never works.
No, it doesn't ever work.
No, you just got to press record and hope for the best.
Yeah. And, even if the best isn't necessarily close to any good, you still have to sort of run with it, don't you?
You do.
You do.
Yeah.
Alas, here we are, jabbering bullshit, having not rehearsed anything.
We get a lot of grief for that at the moment.
Well,
there's been a few comments from people saying chatting shit again. It's like, that's the name of the show, pretty much.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
And, it's up to us if we want to chat some shit before
I think the problem is we've got to recognise that you have an interest in technical stuff and plugins, and I have an interest in chatting bollocks.
That's true.
And we've got, we're doing this together, so therefore...
It's got to meet in the middle.
We've got to meet in the middle,
Exactly that.
So that's what we do. I chat bollocks. You give people some useful technical information.
Sometimes I chat bollocks too.
I think
that's when people get annoyed, when we're both just chatting bollocks. And they get no useful information.
Maybe it's you chatting bollocks that annoys... So, to be honest, it's people that do things like use the letter U to say you. You two. So they'll put you two. And it's like, oh, well, you're clearly...
A U2 fan.
And a bit of an idiot.
Not bad.
Yeah. Our comments are overwhelmingly positive.
No, 99% positive. We get
especially the ones we leave for each other.
Generally, yeah, those ones are really good.
But it's always interesting, isn't it, when you do? I mean, and you've got to, if you put yourself out online doing episodes like this, you've got to expect people to feed back.
100%.
But it's interesting to see that the ones that give negative feedback, if you just take a little moment to go and look at what they've created and put out into the world,
nothing.
It's generally very little.
Yeah, very little, if anything.
Yeah.
Yep. That's fine. I just don't understand how anyone has the time to go on to the comments section and write angry comments.
No.
If I see something on YouTube I don't like,
you skip to the next one.
I just go and watch something else.
Yeah.
Because there is I don't know how many billion videos on YouTube.
Exactly.
I should think 99% of them are not my cup of tea.
No.
But I'm not going to go on all and go, I don't like it.
No.
It's not what I wanted.
No.
You two are getting on my nerves.
It's like the time I commented on that. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Anyway, let's crack on.
So, Shaunus of Vincentile.
Vincentile?
Yeah.
That sounds a bit too much like infantile to me. Anyway, whatever. Moving on. Today we're looking at a plugin someone suggested in the comments, which is always a terrible idea.
God.
No one ever likes them. Anyway, we're going to do it. This is from United Plugins, a company called Firesonic, and this is the Firespacer.
Fucking good name.
Firespacer.
The Firespacer.
Yeah, it is a good
Twisted
name.
Firespacer.
It's pretty twisted. So what the Firespacer is, it's one of those resonance suppressing plugins, much like Soothe or De-Seek or what's the other one? Goldfoss. We looked at one recently, didn't we? I can't remember what it's called now, but there's a whole bunch of them. They can be quite useful. Speccraft was the one we looked at recently. They can be quite useful, especially in mastering, and sometimes if you've got a vocal that's overly sort of resonant in one particular frequency, you just want to fix it. This kind of plugin is good for that kind of thing. I must admit, I do use them in mastering. Sometimes if I've got a track which needs help, it's got resonant frequencies, and whoever it is that sent it to me can't go back to the mix for whatever reason. Maybe they can't afford to, maybe they don't have to, whatever reason. These are good for that. This one works in a slightly different way to all of those, and I don't know if it's by choice or because this is the only way the developers could get it to work. But what you do is you insert this on the problem channel, and then you feed into it via a sidechain the frequencies you want it to suppress. You're looking confused.
I understand what you said. It just seems completely pointless.
Well, do you know what?
Yeah, I wasn't confused by what you said.
You're just
I was
confused by why
It's
they bothered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we make the plugin actually recognise the frequencies?
Well, at first I was like, I don't understand why. What situation would that work? And only whilst demoing it, I discovered how it works. And basically, let's say we have got not look at it in a mastering situation, look at it in a mix situation. Let's say we've got a drum loop, a bounced drum track, and it's not sitting well with another track in the mix. You insert this on the one that needs suppressing in some way, and then you use the sidechain to feed those other frequencies in. Say, right, I don't want this and this to get in each other's way.
Oh, clever. I see.
So if you look at it,
can you delete that last bit that I just said? Because that's
no, that makes you look stupid. I like that. That's staying in. So if you look at this graph thing, the one that is coloured in, that is the signal as is. The red is what you are feeding into it, and the white is the resulting frequency analysis. So you can literally, you sidechain in whatever it is you want to work with this patch, whatever it is.
Okay.
And you dial it in. You've got a min and a max frequency, so you can say, like, I don't want you to mess with the real bottom end, I don't want you to mess with the real top end. So you dial in the area you want it to work on. Then you dial in how much. You've got a release, so how long it hangs on to those bits it's suppressing once they're gone. You can work in mid-side and you can pan it. I'm not really sure that's necessary. The precision is a bit interesting. It's basically how sort of tight to the bit you've set me to do you want it to do? Do you want it to work a little bit outside of that?
You know what this would be really useful on?
What?
Reverbs.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, if you've got a big old lead synthesizer.
Yeah.
With, like mid-cutting, I'm thinking a slam style synth. And you wanted a big old reverb on it.
Yep.
And couldn't be bothered to spend the time.
Yep. It reminds me a little bit of Trackspacer. Do you remember that one we looked at?
Vaguely.
It's a similar thing, but I think this it's a bit odd. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but
does it come back to its masking frequencies?
Yes.
Do you think, essentially?
Yeah,
so
basically.
It's putting a mix. It's helping you when you've got two things that are conflicting in a mix.
Yep.
EQ wise, it's going to give them space.
Yes, exactly that. You basically say, I don't want this to get in the way of this. Help me. That's kind of what it does. And look, like a lot of these things, it is a tool that you don't need. If you're very, very talented as an engineer, you can hear immediately what needs taking out, and you can just do it yourself.
Yeah.
The advantage of these kind of tools is that they only do it at the times it needs doing. So if there's something in the track that is causing problems at some bits and not other bits, it will only do it when it's causing the issue, which you could do yourself, but that would involve a lot of automation. So it's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing.
I quite like it.
I was very put off at first by the sidechain bit because I'm like, I don't get it. Why have they done that?
Well, that makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Once I started messing around with it, I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of useful.
It's probably got its own saturation, has it? I'm guessing, like most plugins, it seems these days.
It doesn't. It does have different algorithms, I suppose you'd call them. You can flip through. They all work slightly differently. It comes with a bunch of presets again, which I couldn't really find the use for them. It's one of those things you need to set up yourself, I think. But yeah, very
cool. So where'd you get it?
So United Plugins, it's one of those websites that has a whole bunch of plugins made by different people. And it's where we got Front Door. They come from United Plugins. Yeah. So yeah, Firesonic.
I like that.
Firespacer.
I like Front Door.
Yeah, there you go. So demo wise, 15 days.
Okay. Which
is pretty fair. Price wise, what do you reckon?
Hold on. I think this is going to be 23 quid.
You saw my card again. Cheating bastard. It's 58. It's 58 normally. In the sale right now, it's 23.
Yeah. I mean that's it's a toolbox. It's not fancy, is it?
It's not massively fancy, and it's there are as we know, there's much more expensive resonance suppressors out there. This one just works slightly differently, and it's one of those every now and again. It's like that could be really useful.
I like it.
Yeah, good interface as well.
Yeah, it is
very
nice
clear.
Interface, yeah.
Yes.
Very cool. So, Sean, is the United Plugins Firesonic Firespacer, twisted Firespacer shit?
No, I don't think it's shit. I think it takes a little bit of messing with, like all good plugins, before you get the best out of it. But it does an interesting job, and it does it pretty well.
If you're trying to cram lots of stuff into a mix, it would be a useful tool to have in your box, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah. I think it's... Look, we all know we've been given mixes before. When you throw all the faders up to have a listen, it's like... Holy Jesus, there's just no room, and I'm going to have to go through this and make space. This is going to help.
Excellent stuff. So, not shit.
Not shit, no.
Good. Okay, well, please make sure before you go and download the 15, not 14-day demo.
Extra day.
Yeah, whole EP. Please like this video.
That'd be cool if you could do that, and maybe subscribe to the channel or become a channel member.
We've got an Instagram, Studio Life 101, and a Patreon, and there are various courses that Sean runs and a mixing and mastering service, and all of the links are down below underneath this video.
Don't forget our plugin top 5.
Oh.
It's normally me that forgets that.
Yeah, it is normally you. Yeah.
Anyway, we got a plugin top 5, and all the links and stuff are down there as well. Yeah. Anyway, until next time, adios.
Sayonara, suckers.